Hi everybody, Eddie Vegas here. Welcome to yet another video review. This time the game is Omerta, City of Gangsters, made by Games. I'm not sure how to say that, but whatever. Their last efforts apparently were Tropico 3 and 4, which, although I didn't play, I've always enjoyed the Tropico series of games. Always thought they were very interesting. This game, Omerta, City of Gangsters, hopefully, we were hoping, would follow in the tradition of Tropico, giving deep gameplay and building up a city. And so we're going to take a look at this game and see exactly what we think about it. There are two parts to this review because there are two parts to the game. There is a management part where basically you are trying to take over the city and spread your influence and buy up properties that give you greater and greater income and greater power. That part, well, we'll withhold judgment until I explain it a little bit better. The second part is the tactical combat, which actually is pretty cool, and we'll be showing that a little bit later. But first of all, let's go ahead and get into a game where I can show you a little bit of the management part and exactly what I think about it. Alright, I wanted to take you through the beginning. Now what I've done is I've fired up a sandbox, and this way you can kind of see a little bit the character creation. We've got a few portraits here. I guess I'll take this guy. Now here, actually this is quite interesting because we start off with these qualities: muscle, finesse, toughness, and smarts, guts, and cunning. All these attributes have effects on when you're playing the tactical battles. So I'm going to go ahead and pick a few things at random here. I'm going to take on the hood, and I worked at the shopkeeper, and I stole a key, and I like a pistol, and I left because the vendetta wiped out my thing, and voila. So we're off, and I'll be showing you a little bit of the management section of the game when this thing loads up. And we can finally see some graphics. Alright, as you can see, at first look, it's quite pleasant to look at, this game. We're looking at a city, and we also have the zoom, and we can zoom in quite close, and we can see that the artwork is really well done. People walking down the street, quite cool. Alright, so this is basically our hideout, and this is my guy right here, and that's where he is. By clicking on him I go to right where he is. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start producing some liquor so I can sell it in a speakeasy. So I'm going to go ahead and click on a premises, and I'm going to rent it.
A real boss ain't afraid of grunt work.
So there goes my guy, and he goes running over to the thing, and I guess he hops in, I don't know. And when it says check mark, that means it's done.
There's a reason why I'm the boss.
So now he rented a premises, but now we need to decide what we're going to put in the premises. So we establish a new thing, and now here's where normally when you see this, you're going to go, oh my god, this is going to be so cool, this game. We've got a brewery, we have a safe house that lowers heat and provides heist opportunities, we've got hidden storage, a smuggler, a soup kitchen. This is going to improve your liked rating. Distillery makes liquor. The accountant launders your dirty money. The counterfeiter prints dirty money. The wholesaler stole for gangsters. You can get your own store. And finally, your labor union collects dirty money fees. We are going to make a brewery because we're just getting started, and we're going to go ahead and let the dude, he's got a locked thing, which means he's busy doing something. While we're at it, we're going to hire another gangster by double clicking here. We've got the gang management screen, and we're going to go ahead and hire Squigs. So we've got 2 members in our gang. And now Squigs is free to do something else. And what Squigs is going to do, he's going to look around and try to find. This is something I don't like about this game, is that basically you really have to okay, I can't. Oh, here we go. What you really need to do at the very beginning is look for these buildings with a question mark over them, and go ahead and do a big spender, and we'll go ahead and send Squigs.
I'm in a rush, boss.
And he's going to go get some more information about the neighborhood. That's going to open up more and more buildings and say what the buildings are. Meanwhile, Eddie Vegas has created his brewery. And now what we need to do is we need to have a place to sell the brewery, so we're going to rent this joint. Now, joints are different than premises. Premises are more like factories, and joints are more like storefronts. And there we've got the day-night cycle. It's actually quite nice. And the lights come on, etc., etc. It's actually quite pleasant to look at until you get to about your 5th map, in which case you start wishing that things looked a little bit more bright and interesting than they actually do. Randy Vegas has rented a joint.
Do it yourself.
And now we're going to make a speakeasy.
Got a lot of work to do.
And he's going to rent a speakeasy, which is going to sell the beer that I'm making. Here, down here, we've got the output of your 3 basic resources, which are beer, liquor, and firearms. They're all used to do different things. Alright, so he has set up a new speakeasy. Now, your buildings can be upgraded. By clicking on upgrades, we're going to take increased production, which gives 20% efficiency, and we're going to take brand name, which is going to improve our liked rating. Liked means people like you, and fear means people don't like you. Strangely enough, in this game, it's even in the manual. There's absolutely nothing wrong with having a very high feared rating and a very high liked rating, which seems a little bit crazy, but whatever. Alright, and meanwhile over here in our speakeasy, we're going to upgrade this baby too. Let's get 50% more profits from beer, and we don't really need the extra room right now, so we'll go ahead and go back. Alright, there's a third type of building that you can build, but I'm not going to show it. The constructions. This is where you take over an empty lot and build something there. These are really the high-priced things like the hotels, the casinos, the lawyers, etc., etc., etc. But for that you need clean money. And here, right here, this is your dirty money, and right here, this is your clean money. Okay, now I took the very most easiest mission, so we start with a whole bunch of clean money, so I suppose I could probably do that if I wanted to. But basically there you've really got your high-class things that literally need to be built. Alright, let's go ahead and fast forward to a point in another game that I played where basically I had things pretty much settled, so we can talk a little bit more in depth. Okay, here's a game, sandbox game on the next to the easiest level, kind of medium easy, and basically I have this level crushed. There I have so much dirty money and so much clean money. Basically, nothing is really basically happening to stop me, and this is something that is wrong with the game, is that basically it's not too easy. I mean, it's kind of easy, but that's okay. I don't really mind an easy game. It's just that it's so bland. It's so boring. I hate to say it, but here I've taken over pretty much everything. I suppose there's a couple more buildings here I could rent. But, you know, in terms of constructions, you can only build constructions, which are your real money-making things, in only a few places. And I believe in this game there are only 3 places where I was able to actually build something like a hotel or whatever. The other thing that I want to comment is that, oh yeah, I forgot to talk about the jobs. So here I've got an excess of liquor, so I'm going to go ahead and try to sell some of that. So I go to my jobs, and oops, well, in fact I can't because they're just selling. But sometimes they say it says buying, and this brings me to another part about this game is that basically everything is like a speed bump. The best way to illustrate that is how you go about buying out a hotel. Say like there's a competitive hotel and you want to buy it out. Normally they are going to start out the other hotel at normal relations with you, and to get them to like you enough so that you can buy the hotel from them, you have to have warm relations. To do that, you have to go in and you have to gamble and you have to lose. So you send a guy and you tell him to go gamble at the casino, but say like he wins. Well, at that point there, then you still have neutral relations with him, and you have to send him back in to gamble again. Unfortunately, there is a 180-second cooldown on gambling, so you have to wait 180 seconds before you can send the guy in to hopefully lose, which you have no control over. At that point there, then they have warm relations, and at that point there, you can buy their hotel. I think this pretty much basically illustrates the whole game in that it's just not, there's just not enough there. The other point I wanted to make is that although probably everybody's going like, wow, this really looks like really nice graphics, and I agree that they are pretty well done, the graphics, I can promise you by the 4th or 5th or 6th scenario, you're going to be sick of looking at all this brown. And the other thing that I want to say is that there's just not enough gamey feedback. Like here I have this town pretty much all taken care of, but there is no way that I'm going to see something that's going to tell me in kind of a gamey fashion how good I'm doing, other than seeing these yellow things flipping around my buildings. The buildings themselves don't change. Now then again, it's Prohibition, so you can't necessarily put a big sign outside here saying it's a brewery. But still, I mean, it's just you just don't get enough feedback like, wow, now I'm taking over the city. I've got this city crushed, even though I do have the city crushed. The last thing I want to talk about is the heat rating. I actually have a lawyer. I have a lawyer here, which basically crushes the heat rating. But basically all the illegal activities that you undertake, including selling stuff, buying stuff, selling underground liquor, increase your heat rating. When it gets to 5 stars, the next level after that will start an investigation, and you have to bribe the police, or you have to do something, call in a favor from a city official to get rid of that, and then it will start going up again, and then the bribes go higher and higher and higher. So it's, once again, it's just a speed bump. I mean, it just hasn't been thought through the way it really needs to be thought through. And I rate this part of the game as pretty crappy. Oh yes, I forgot one more thing. There are no rival gangs in Sandbox to challenge you. So other than the heat mechanic, there's basically nothing stopping you from doing whatever you want. I tried this on the hardest level too, and I didn't really see any rival gangs coming after me. Sandbox is pretty boring. The missions, however, the campaign, are a little bit better. There's some pretty good voice acting there. And but the same thing is like, now build 3 hotels, now do this, now collect 20 liquor, now collect 50 beer. Basically speed bump. It's I don't know, it's just not really very well thought out. Now, one thing that is the redeeming feature of this game, though, is the tactical combat, and we're going to look at that right now. Okay, here's a little bit of the tactical combat. The first things I want to point out, because probably some of you played XCOM, is that you can't really decide who goes first and who goes second. It's all sort of decided up here, and there's also an initiative rating that determines how often you act. We have Wolf selected here. He's got a rifle, and his attacks are rifle shot. He also has a long-range crippling shot towards the target legs that will reduce the target's movement points by 5. And he can also mark an area, in which case anybody that comes into that area, he's going to have a better chance of hitting him. The guy's movement is broken up into two sections here. He's got movement points and he's got action points. So he can basically, all shooting ends all your movement points. So you can move to the maximum of your movement points, and then you can go ahead and take actions. And of course, each one of these actions, like for example, snipe is going to cost 3 points, etc., etc. So let's go ahead and send him up. Also, we do have, let's go ahead and send him up to here. And we will have him end turn.
I'm cool.
And we've got, now this guy's got a baseball bat, and he's a close range guy. This guy's got like a whole bunch of action movement points, not too many action points, but then again, swinging a baseball bat doesn't really cost that much. Let's send him up to the action as fast as we possibly can, and his turn.
All right, let's go.
My guy, I upgraded him to a shotgun, and he's going to move up because he also has to get close. And we'll end the turn. And we've got, this guy's got pistol. This is the only guy who's really got Overwatch. There's no Overwatch in this game. The only thing is, it's a special attribute to revolvers, that revolvers and knives can fight back when somebody shoots at them or somebody moves. So we end our turn. Now we know it's Wolf's turn again. He's going to move up to some cover up here, because he's a long-distance guy, and we will go ahead and end his turn.
Time to turn up the heat.
This guy, on the other hand, is going to move up.
Here come the critics.
And there we finally see a bad guy. The bad guys and your guys are rated in terms of health and in terms of courage. Courage is a thing where if a courage drops below 20, your guys will not move as much, and they will not... I'm going to go ahead and put this guy here, and hopefully he doesn't see him anymore. Yes, he doesn't. So in fact, we see the cone of where he can see, and he can't see him, so that means that guy can't shoot. All right, in turn.
All right, let's go.
Eddie Vegas is going to need to run up here and stand right behind him pretty much, because he wants to come out and blast him when he possibly can. Although he could run up here and just try to blast him, which I think that's what we're going to do.
See me and you die.
Alright, so we have two people. So what I would want to do is I would want to move, because he shoots in a cone.
See me and you die.
And so now we have 4 guys we see. Oh my god, oh my god. Oh, that was a bad spot to move him. Alright, well we have to move up at least one more.
See me and you die.
Oh boy, this is really bad. Okay, well anyway, now he's going to pick a spread shot, and hopefully, oh no, we can't get them all. Oh man, my spread is not spreading. That's kind of bad, actually. Alright, well we're going to shoot against this guy then. We missed, but even though we had 85% chance to hit, we missed. Now finally he hits, and he can't really do anything else, so let's end his turn. Now it's the bad guy's turn. Oh, we're in bad shape here.
Aye.
So he sees how many guys? One guy. Well, he needs to move up, because actually the more guys he sees, the better it is, because he can shoot it once at each target. He's got a special power. Shoot fire once at each enemy in an area. And he's going to do it again, but he's going to get advanced, like better chance, more of an aimed chance at it.
Good job, boys.
Alright. Actually, this has been going on a little bit longer than I wanted to show, but basically now you guys have pretty much seen the combat. It kind of plays out like that. There's all kinds of special effects that you can put on them, like bleeding, and you can also shoot at their legs, which will cut down on their movement points. Big Man here's got a bunch of special powers, especially his bat causes concussions, which slows people down. And they also have like special powers that they can use, like bandage and heal other people, etc. So this part actually is pretty cool. And of course, you can zoom in and get a better view if you want, which is pretty cool, I have to admit. All right, final thoughts coming up. Okay, so what do I think? I'm divided, I have to admit. The management part of this game, quite frankly, it pretty much sucks. I mean, this is the kind of game, if I took all the parts together, this is the kind of game that would melt my butter so much. It's got the Sim City style, making your city bigger, taking over more area, getting everything better, getting better weapons, getting more money, etc., etc. Normally, this is the kind of game I really like. I like to just sit back and watch my little peeps run around and accomplish things for me. But here, the presentation is so bland. It's so nothing. There's no gamey feedback that's making me think that I'm progressing. I don't even have a graph to look at that's going up, or I don't even have a ledger where I can see that my numbers are in green, which showing that I'm making money, instead of my numbers being in red, showing I'm losing money. It's all brown. There's nothing to excite me there. Nothing whatsoever. And so, despite the fact this is one of my favorite genres, I really have to give the management part a terrible grade there. The graphics, look boring after a little while. It just looks too brown. But mainly, there's really nothing pushing you forward. There's just nothing pushing you forward. There's nothing pushing you forward. On the other hand, the tactical combat is great. All kinds of options and special powers and interesting situations and tactical choices to be made. I like that part a lot, but it's in the overall scheme of things, the tactical missions are not that big of a part of the game. And given that in sandbox mode there are no rival gangs to, from time to time, affront you or try to take over one of your businesses, which could, afford some challenge. All you basically have is the heat mechanic, and once you get lawyers, then the heat mechanic is no longer valid. So in the end, I mean, I'm split. I have to give this game on overall, I have to give it like a C minus, just from the weakness of the management part, which quite frankly, it's just bland. It's boring. I'm sorry. And this is from somebody who's predisposed to like these sort of games. I didn't test the multiplayer. I don't really play multiplayer. I've heard that it's good. I've heard that people have fun. And I guess since it's using the tactical portion of the game, I would guess that it is. But in the end, I can't really recommend this as being a buy. All right. This is Eddie Vegas. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you with another review or more videos coming up real soon. Bye-bye.